Hey guys, Pixel Dan here, and I am once again back to talk about some amazing new cases from our friends at ZoloWorld.com. Now, if you are not familiar with ZoloWorld, you should check out some of my past reviews of some of their awesome product. ZoloWorld is known for making some very cool protective clamshell cases for your carded action figures. In the past, we've taken a look at some of their cases for things such as the Masters of the Universe Classics line, the 2000X Masters line, the 3 3/4 inch cases. They've done some great stuff. But today we're going to take a look at two of their brand new cases. The case designed for DC Universe Classics, and another case designed specifically for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So let's check out exactly how these cases work out. We'll go ahead and start with the DC Universe case over here. Now, as you can see, the case is designed as a form-fitting bubble to the DC Universe Classics action figures. Now, this is very similar to what we've seen in the past with the case designed for the Masters of the Universe Classics. You can see up at the top, there's even the little indents made specifically for the DC Universe Classics logo in the package, and the shape of the bubble is actually shaped to fit those carded figures from Mattel. Now, the way this case works is it actually unfolds in the back. It is connected at the bottom, so it's kind of a folding flap here. And then you can take your DC Universe Classics figure, and it slides right into place. Now, there's a little lip on the inside where the card perfectly sits in place, and it's a very, very snug, very, very good fit. Once you've got your figure in place, it's as easy as folding it up and snapping the back shut. There are little small snaps built in, and it does snap shut. Now, just to note, this is not an airtight lock. It's not that kind of a case. This is not airtight. What it's basically meant to do is just make a nice protective housing for it. This is not hard acrylic. This is a very soft, very flexible plastic. It is very similar to cases that have been released for other lines before, like the Star Wars line, stuff like that. So it's very, very similar to those if you're at all familiar with it. It's a softer plastic, but as you can see, it does a great job of housing the figure within. And it's a very nice firm lock. I mean, you actually do have to pull it apart, and it unclips, and then you just pop it right back in place, and it's sealed very well. So there we have our sealed, locked, protected DC Universe Classics figure. Now, there's a nice little hang tab at the top, so if you're a mint-on card collector that likes to hang your figures on the wall, this is a great way to do that. That way you don't have to fold up the plastic tab on the back if you haven't already done so, and you can beautifully mount your figure up on the wall there. This is also great for storage, because if you're planning to put your carded figures away for some time, you want to lock them up, you don't want them to get all dinged up, you throw them in there, you got this nice protective plastic casing on there, so you don't have to worry about your cards getting all dinged up. And the way they're shaped and designed, they actually stack very well on top of each other also. Now, there is one thing I need to note about this. This actual blister protective case here is designed for the older style DC Universe Classics figures. So it's not going to fit any of the more modern stuff, specifically like the Green Lantern Classics that's out now. Just for comparison, I do have an empty Green Lantern Classics blister card here, and you can see that now the cards are a lot taller. You know, there's quite a difference in the height there. The bubble itself goes a little taller, so these are not going to fit. But everything for the first several waves should fit in these protective cases. And if you're a DC Universe fan, especially if you're a mint-on card fan, then these are a must-have in my opinion. I mean, this is the best way to display your figures on the walls. It's a great way to keep them protected. Definitely, definitely worth checking out. So now that we got this one out of the way, why don't we move on to our next, which is the case designed for Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. Now, this is a very cool one because I am a big fan of these protective cases for vintage figures especially. I love the ones that were created for the old Masters of the Universe figures and stuff like that, so being a Ninja Turtles collector, it's pretty awesome finally having an option to seal some of these figures up in protective cases. Now, Same thing, same rules apply here. It just pops open in the back, it folds down, exactly the same as with the DC case. And here we've got a vintage sewer surfing Mike, all right. So let's just lay him down in the blister here, in the protective case. Fold it up, seal the snaps, and there you have it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a protective case. Now the cool thing about this is this case is made to fit more than just these vintage Ninja Turtles. As you may or may not know, the vintage card backs do slightly different size from the more recent 25th anniversary packages. The vintage ones are slightly bigger, not terribly bigger, but they are a little bit bigger in size, a little bit bigger and different in shape. Good news is this case will actually also hold your 25th anniversary Ninja Turtles collection. So very, very cool stuff. Once again, you've got the hang tab, so you can hang your Ninja Turtles figures up on the wall, and it just really adds to the appeal of these guys. I mean, it just makes them look a lot nicer, a lot more crisp and clean. Looks really great displayed this way. Now here's the cool thing about this case. As you can see in there, there is a little bit of extra room. Not unlike the DC Universe one where it's completely snug and designed specifically for the figure card back. This one is actually designed in such a way that we can actually fit more types of figures that are in this style in this case. So a lot of the similar figures that were coming out at the times will also fit in this display case. Just to show you a good example, I have here Captain Bucky O'Hare. So you can see the Bucky O'Hare figures from Hasbro. Bam! Protected in a case. How cool is this? Seriously, anytime I can get an awesome protective clamshell case for my vintage card backs, that is just absolutely amazing. That is perfect. That is exactly what we need these protective cases for, are these vintage figures. Some other figures that I know that this case houses are the Playmate Star Trek figures, and I believe even some of the older Mego stuff, from what I'm told, will fit in these cases. Unfortunately, some of the larger ones, like Toxic Crusaders and the like, don't quite fit in there. They're a little too big for it. Dick Tracy is a little too big. But, I mean, this is a great size case for your Ninja Turtles, especially, but also some of your other lines like Bucky O'Hare and stuff like that. So definitely very, very cool thing, something you would definitely want to check out. So, perhaps you were saying, gee, Pixel Dan, these cases are pretty amazing. How do I go about getting some of these to add to my collection? Good news, it's very easy to do so. Just head on over to www.ZoloWorld.com and all of these protective cases are right there for you to check out. Now aside from this, there are also some of the other older style cases. Lots of great things to check out, and again, I will say it, if you're a Mint on Card collector, this is a great idea to help protect and display your collection. So definitely check them out, ZoloWorld.com, and make sure you tell them that Pixel Dan sent you. Until next time, guys.